Yo, it's your boy Ray on Replay coming back with another episode. Man. This episode right here, something that I was supposed to be doing for a minute. I told you in my last episode, as you can tell with the background, of course, behind me. You know what I'm finna talk about, man. So, like I said in the last podcast, I said y'all give me time, let me catch up with it, so I can talk about it, have conversations about it, and let you know, give you my take and my feel on how I feel about this situation. The Last Dance. This is exactly what I'm here to talk about. The Last Dance. So, like I said, I don't know if you've seen my very first episode or second episode that I ever did. I put an order in for, as far as my greats that go down, top 3 greats. The order is LeBron, Kobe, Michael. And my reason was for that order is because I seen LeBron and Kobe growing up playing basketball. I never got to see MJ. Like, I never got to see the moments and the things that he was able to do, as far as not on a day-to-day basis, but just as far as him taking over the game. I always used to hear, Jordan was a killer. He won 6 rings, he's 6-0. Everybody would tell me these things, but I never got to see it with my own 2 eyes. So watching this documentary was like very refreshing. Just to see Michael like take over, like I don't know, it kind of gave me like chills, like when I first watched it. Like, when I first watched episode 1, I'm thinking like, it just went back in time. Like, I love how they flip-flop, it'll go from like 1984 when he first like high school, and then, or when he first was finna get drafted, then they'll go back into like 91, you know what I'm saying, or 90 when they first won their first ring, and then flip-flop, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. So it was very interesting just to see like his struggle, as far as like him not getting selected to the varsity basketball team on his sophomore year, and other things that I took from it, like the players that got selected on the high school team over him now. Like, when he was playing for the Bulls, like when he used to check in the hotels, when he didn't want nobody to know who he was or where he was at, he would use their names. That was just kind of unique and different things that I just took from that. So, I mean, I don't even know where to start, man. Like, this is crazy. Like, just to see that team together, to see it gel, to see the way Phil Jackson, camaraderie, to bring them all together, to make them mesh well, to play together, and then just to see the GM backstabbing. You got a head coach who won 5 rings, and you're telling this man, look, I don't care if you win 82 games straight, or you win a championship, like, this is your last year, point blank period. Like, he doesn't care. Like, this is gonna be your last year. They're moving in another direction. So it just comes to find you, and just comes to bring you to thought, like, if that team would have stayed together, like, how many chips would they have got? If they would have stayed together to the 2000s, because Michael Jordan was what, 33, 34. If they would have stayed together to the 2000s, how many chips would they have got? 8, 9, 10? You know what I'm saying? Like, the mind can wonder now, as you can see, like, the backstory of what happened and why this team didn't get to stay together. Like I said, just very interesting just to see him kill, like, They showed footage of him in the playoffs when it was just him by himself, nobody else on the team, like just willing his team to the playoffs. When he first injured his foot, he couldn't play. He was on minutes restrictions. He only could play 14 minutes a game, 7 minutes a half. And you know what he said? Every time he stepped on the court, them 14 minutes, he was gonna kill any and everybody. Them 14 minutes, he would step on the court. And he did, and he willed his team to the playoffs. You know, when he got to the playoffs, he had no minutes restriction. That's when he played Larry Bird, Kevin McHale. Bro, like that Boston Celtics team, like stacked, loaded. And he went nuts, like nuts. First game, I think he had like 49. Game 2, he had like 63. What are you doing, yo? I mean, of course they lost the series, but excuse me, you could just see the willingness and the manpower that he had just to not be stopped. Like nobody could guard this man. And it was just me. It was refreshing to like finally like see it. To see him like go crazy. To see like the game highlights. Cause you know, mind you, got drafted what, 86? I wasn't born. I didn't get born until 88. Like I said, I didn't really start locking into basketball until like, I'm gonna say like 90, no, I'm gonna say like in the 2000s when Kobe started going on his run, winning 3 straight with Shaq. Granted, I knew about Jordan, you know, but back then, that's in 2000s, like, that's when he was on the Wizards. He wasn't, I didn't see him in the Chicago Bulls uniform. I seen him on the Wizards. So it was just things like that was just very refreshing to me to instill. And like I said, just to see the backstory on how Scotty signed a 7-year, $18 million contract. Like, bro, in 91, they considered him the second best player in the league. In the league. In the league. Not the second best player on the Chicago Bulls team, but the second best player in the league. And I was talking to somebody either at work on Friday about this. We was just having this conversation. I was just telling him, like, granted, Michael Jordan, all defensive team, 9 times. Agreed. I give you that. But Michael Jordan wasn't guarding the best player every night. He wasn't on the opposite end guarding Magic. He wasn't on the opposite end guarding Isaiah Thomas. He wasn't on the opposite end guarding Larry Bird. He wasn't doing that. Like, that wasn't him. He played defense. Yes, he did. But he wasn't the best on-ball defender. Like, Scotty took that role. Dennis Rodman took that role. So when people compare, you know, well, LeBron doesn't play defense on the best, Michael Jordan never did that neither. So please squash out your situation. Then you always say, well, he's been on the all defensive team 9 times. I think LeBron been on there like 5 or 6, something like that. Cool, but I don't know if they like, I'm not gonna say they gave it to Jordan for that aspect, but you know, Jordan was getting a lot of blocks. He was getting a lot of steals. I give Jordan that. But like I said, as far as like on ball defending, he wasn't doing that. Like he had 2 people on his team who knew their roles and were very good at their roles. Like Scottie Pippen, his right hand man. Like on ball defense, he can handle the rock. He can be the point forward. You know what I'm saying? And he had Jordan's back. Then you had Dennis Rodman probably the best rebounder in the league. You know what I mean? Like, then I heard people in the documentary saying Dennis Rodman was the best on the ball defender they ever seen, point blank period, like hands down. So if you got two defenders like that on your team, like, come on, man. LeBron has never had an on-ball defender like Scottie Pippen or Dennis Rodman on his team. And why would he have to guard the best player every night and then do everything else that he has to do? Because you know he's grabbing rebounds, he's getting assists, and you know he's getting the points. So that's going to tire him out. You know what I'm saying? That's why Jordan didn't do that. Because it's going to tire him out. That's why he had Pippen. That's why he had Dennis Rodman. But enough of the comparison. Like I said, I'm gonna just stick to the documentary. Like I said, on the whole backstory of, it was funny how, you know, they let Dennis Rodman take a vacation to go to Vegas, and Jordan said he knocked on the door, stuff everywhere, you know what I'm saying, drugs, everything, all type of stuff. You know, they had to pick him up, get him up out of there, fly him back, and they had to go to practice like that day as soon as they got there. It's just crazy, and how Phil Jackson was just so cool about it, how he was just like, look, Mike, like, we gotta let him take a vacation, like 48 hours. So just seeing things like that, that's crazy. It's cool. Back then, how Phil can really just like understand each player and each mindset on the team, just so he know that when it's time to play together on the court, they will very mesh well, very much so. Like I said, once again, I didn't know that Scottie Pippen, I think it was, when Tony Kukoc came on the team, I didn't know that Scottie Pippen, I think this was episode 7. I haven't seen 8 yet, so I'm all the way, I caught up. I done seen 1 through 7. So episode 7, how Scottie Pippen wanted the last second shot, but Phil ran it for Tony Kukoc. Mind you, Tony is like a rookie. I think he a rookie or the second. Yeah, he was a rookie that year. You know, Jordan just retired in '93. After that, you know, his pops had died. And it was just pretty much like Scottie Pippen team. Like, that's when MJ pretty much went to the White Sox, tried out, made the team or whatever. And it was Scottie Pippen team, you know. So in the playoffs, I think it was the playoffs, it was the playoffs. Phil ran a play. It was for Tony Kukoc to hit the shot. But Scottie Pippen felt some type of way, thinking like, you know, I'm the man on the team. I think the ball should be in my hands. So after the timeout, Scottie Pippen was like, I'm not going in the game. I'm like, wow. You gonna do that on your team? Like, Phil came down, the bench was like, yo, Scottie, you in or out? So I'm out. Cool. You know, Tony caught the rock, made the three, or midi or whatever. It was a game winner, you know what I'm saying? It was just seeing things like that, man. Like, I never thought that people would have that much, I don't know, ego on the team, thinking like, you know, the ball should revolve around him. But, you know, they got over it. They came back together and meshed well. Of course, they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals against, I believe it was the Knicks. Yeah, it was the Knicks. Lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Knicks. So just seeing stuff like that, it was just, it's mind blowing, man. It's real mind blowing. Just seeing that whole team just gel and mesh, and the camaraderie that they had, you know, with the Steve Kerr and the John Paxton, and how, you know, Doug Collins, he used to coach the Bulls, he used to coach Jordan. And the way that Doug Collins coached them, he coached them like, okay, I'm gonna put the ball in Jordan's hands and I'm gonna let you go to work. But after Doug, pretty much his second year coaching, he had a feeling that he was gonna get fired. Don't know why I got that feeling, but he said he had a feeling. You know, they brought in Phil. Phil was already an assistant coach on the Bulls. They made Phil the head coach, and Phil ran the triangle offense. And the triangle offense is pretty much consisted of a motion offense that everybody can touch the rock. So it was different for Jordan because he didn't always have the ball in his hands, and he had to trust more of his teammates, which he didn't know how to do at first. So when he started learning and trusting, I mean, the team got way, 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 way better. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to watch the series. I'm really digging this series. I'm really digging this documentary. Next podcast, I will finish up. Episode 8 should show him coming back, returning from retirement after he retired in '93. So we'll just go from there. This is very inspiring to me and interesting to me because, like I said, in my first couple of episodes, I told y'all like I never got to see him actually, you know, play on TV or nothing like this. So just to see highlights and see how he move. Of course, you know, you can watch it on YouTube, but it's just different in the documentary because they give you all the backstory of what's going on, things like that. I like hearing things like that. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, so I'm very grateful to see this because I needed this in my basketball life. This was like a missing piece that I needed. So stay tuned for the next episode that I will drop next Monday, or it might come soon. I don't know, man. But continue to subscribe, continue to like, continue to share, continue to stay safe too. Other news before I get up out of here, the NBA is looking to either play in Vegas or Orlando. Still haven't got a definite answer. You know they're not playing with no fans. Hopefully, they had a conference call Friday. So hopefully, you know, we'll see where it goes. Hopefully I have an update for y'all for the next episode. Continue to stay safe, wash your hands, man, keep that 6 feet, man. All right, it's your boy, Ray on Replay. Yikes.